Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. 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 All right. Audio's good. Looks like we're in the ballpark. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. All right. Audio's good. Looks like we're in the ballpark. Okay, now we just gotta do this. First time streaming on the new PC, so there might be some bugginess. Now we just gotta do this, but hopefully everything goes well. First time streaming on the new. Okay, are we all good? Everything kosher? Looks like it. Let's begin. Yo, what's going on, Eben? How you doing today, buddy? Sorry, it just took me a second to get to you. I'm not doing too bad today, man. Just gonna do a little stream today. Figured it'd be a good, appropriate time for it. Yeah, I'm living life as best I can. Took me a couple of days to get used to the new laptop, so. Certainly hope everyone's weekend is going well. Okay. My B-Day was not too long ago, and I got a life-size Hyrulean shield. Nice. Well, happy belated birthday, my friend. My birthday is going to be at the end of this month. I'll be turning 31 on the 28th. God, I'm old. Now all you need now is the Master Sword to go along with the Hylian Shield. If there's some way I can... There we go. I'm using some cheat codes because it's more fun for me. Bot Ricks. Okay, come on. No, wrong hole. Other hole. Other hole. There we go. Yeah, I saw on GameStop, but saw one at GameStop, but it was way too expensive. Really? The Master Sword or the Highland Shield? You could probably have your mom or dad get you one from eBay or something. Sword. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, this month for my birthday, I don't know what I'm gonna do though. Might get me some cake and ice cream or something. I'm not sure. After you turn 21, all your birthdays kind of start having no meaning. Haven't really celebrated my birthday in the last couple years, but I am financially stable enough to actually do so this time around. But let's see if I can actually do this. Oh, there we go. Pop that open there right quick. Yeah, I'll probably see. My girl's birthday was a couple of weeks ago, or a week and a half ago, and then I got her a new game for her birthday, and then she said she'll try to help me get a Switch 2 for my birthday. She's not gonna be able to cover all of it, but she should be able to cover enough to where I can afford it. I'm really hoping to be able to. Hold on. Sorry, brain fart. I gotta get used to streaming, man. I really do. Yeah, Switch 2. I'm planning on getting it this summer. I really want it. I've heard a lot of like negative PR about like the way that Nintendo is forcing us to buy digital essentially. We're not going to own the games anymore. We're not going to own the console anymore. They're going to brick it on us. Well, I don't have any plans on modifying my Switch 2, so I'm not in any danger of them bricking it, so I don't really care. Here's something neat you can do with the Phazon Beam. I can blow open the power bomb doors. Not supposed to blow up that door for a long time. And with Moon Jump, I can go and grab the, fricking, Sunburst that's at the top of this little tower thingy here. Yeah. 20 and that plastic key is the only downside I have for it so far. Yeah, I get you. Ow! Ow, stop it. Stupid thing. Or 20 extra on the key. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to grabbing a Switch 2 because I want to... I mean, one of the biggest things for me is the fact that it's going to have GameCube games on it, which is the whole reason I bought my Samsung Galaxy S20 was because it could play GameCube games. So being able to play GameCube games on my Switch 2 is going to be freaking awesome. I can't wait. My favorite game of all time, Pokemon X Zero Darkness, is going to be available on it. And it's very likely that Metroid Prime 1 and 2, the GameCube versions, will also be available on the service. I mean, they are two of the most popular games on the console, so they'd be stupid to not include them. Heck, they might even include Melee, I don't know. I don't know if the N64 one, the N64 Virtual Console, if they included... Oh, excuse me, I don't know if they included it, Smash Bros. 64. I haven't had a Nintendo Switch, the updated Switch, What am I trying to say? I haven't had the updated Switch. Um, freaking. Okay, hold on. My brain is not functioning. Hold on a second. I haven't had the Switch's extra online thingy where that gives you access to the GameCube game or the N64 games and the Game Boy Advance games. I haven't had that since mine expired in February. Same company that didn't put the OS Pokemon games for online. Yeah, that's true. OG Pokemon games, yeah. They have no reason not to do that. I mean, they could make a whole bunch of money doing that. But I think it's because Pokemon is multiplayer, at least when the trading aspect is concerned, so that's probably why they're not doing it. I don't agree with it. I think they should put Pokemon on the Switch. I think they should put all the Pokemon games on the Switch that are, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance. I think they should put all of them on there, but I don't work at Nintendo, so I don't know how hard I'd be. I think the reason they won't do it is because they put the Game Boy and Game Boy Color Pokemon games on the 3DS, and because they did that, they don't want to put them on the Switch because you're not technically paying for them. You're paying for the service that allows you to use them, and they're not going to make as much money by you buying a service to play them rather than buying the games together as a whole. Then again, like Pokemon is the one Nintendo game series that's never had like an Ultimate Edition or a compilation or something like that. We've had compilations of Metroid, Mario, Zelda. We've had compilations of almost every other Nintendo franchise except for Pokemon, and I don't understand why. They don't put on and get butthurt about people emulating them. Exactly. That's my whole point. They could easily slap all six of the or five no six of the Game Boy Color and Game Boy Pokemon games. Excuse me. They could easily put all six Game Boy and Game Boy Color Pokemon games on one game cartridge. Call it the Pokemon Classics Collection. Sell it for $60, and people will eat that shit up. I know I will. I would absolutely buy that. Hell yeah. Then they could do the same thing with the Game Boy Advance games. Make a Game Boy Advance Pokemon collection with all six Game Boy Advance Pokemon, or all five Game Boy Advance Pokemon games. Fire Red, Leaf Green, Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. I'd buy that in a heartbeat. I'd buy it twice. Are you kidding me? Just to support it. That'd be great. But Pokemon operates so differently to Nintendo's standard series. I don't know why. All the GameCubes fit on one cartridge. Exactly. That's another thing too. I mean, they're putting Pokemon Colosseum and Exceedal of Darkness on the freaking Nintendo GameCube Virtual Console. Yeah, well, no, like they put Stadium 1 and 2 on it too, didn't they? On the N64 one? They should just put all of them on. There's no reason not to. They're just being stubborn. I don't know why. Every Pokemon fan that I know would gladly buy those games easily. I mean, they spend like $150 getting a physical copy of Pokemon Emerald for crying out loud. Don't tell me it just froze on me. For crying out loud. All right, hold on. Hold on, my game froze on me. I gotta figure it out. Frickin' hell. There we go. All right, sorry about that. Yeah, they also put the TCG Game Boy game and Red Rescue Team, but no mainlines. Exactly. Why don't they just put the mainlines on? That'd be great. They would sell like hotcakes. Good thing I decided to save the game. I don't know. I don't understand game corporations, man. On the one hand, they're greedy as all hell, and on the other hand, they don't see money staring them right in the face. What do I think about GTA 6 going for? To be honest, I've never played a GTA game. I've never been a fan of the series. It going for that price, though, considering how hyped it's been for the last several years, I'm not surprised. I mean, I'd be more surprised if it didn't go for exuberant prices, considering how popular that game has been. I mean, GTA 5 is one of the best-selling games of all time, so of course GTA 6 is going to be a massive hit. I won't personally touch it just because I'm not a GTA fan, but for those who want it so badly, I'm kind of disappointed that it's getting delayed. I feel bad for those who want to buy it now, but it's getting delayed until May of next year. I don't know if they're delaying it because it's gonna actually take that long to finish, or if they're just being greedy or whatever. It's hard to say. But like $80 to $100 games, I mean, in general, I am somebody who doesn't think that games should be that expensive. Cost more than the Burj Khalifa in to make. Yeah, damn near. Bug fixes most likely. Either bug fixes or they're just being greedy. They're just trying to stir up more hype. I'd argue it's more for hype than anything else. I mean, I hope the game is good for those who are really looking forward to it. I'd hate for them to release it in a buggy, crappy, glitchy mess. What the hell? The hell just happened? God damn it. This is gonna piss me off. Okay, this is getting on my nerves. This time it just shut down. It gave me some weird error message. So it's not the computer that was having the problem. It's not the old laptop that's having the problem. I don't know, man. Like, it just keeps shutting off. I think it's because of the cheat codes I'm using. I might want to disable one of the cheat codes. If it happens a third time, I'm going to disable some cheats. I don't usually get, well, I was getting a lot of errors on the other computer as well, my old laptop. I thought it was just a laptop, though, like, because it was overheating and causing problems, but looks like it might be the game. You did a play? Yeah, I actually, I speed ran Emerald when I got my new PC a couple days ago. I speed ran it in like 7 hours. Emerald is one of the fastest Pokemon games I can play. Because I know it so well from top to bottom, I can get anything in that game that I want. I spent a long time on Emerald when I was a kid. Not in the post game, though. Right. Most of my time I spent in Emerald was repeating the playthroughs because, right. Well, long story short, my mom got me a glitched copy, or she got me a not a glitched copy, but she got me a bootleg copy that we didn't know was bootleg until I tried to trade a Pokemon from my copy of Emerald to my copy of Pokemon X Steel Darkness. And when I did that, the game just, my disc stopped spinning. My GameCube disc stopped spinning. And when that happened, basically, I had to, the disc stopped spinning right when it said do not turn off the power and it was saving, and I had to turn the power off because the disc stopped spinning, so it corrupted the save file. And then I ended up replaying Emerald 32 more times in a row because every time I beat the Elite Four and the champion, the save file deleted itself. Friend put on mods that switch the odds of shiny and normal Pokemon. Oh, okay. Yeah, I downloaded a 1 in 100 shiny Emerald mod a few weeks ago. Or a few months ago. Alright, let's try to get back to my bloody ship so I can actually save the game. Hopefully I don't get another freaking crash. But who knows with this game? This game is wacky. What did I just fucking say? Okay, never mind. Okay, it's good. It's good. It's good. We're fine. We're fine. I'm gonna try to get to Agon Waste and save. I mean, I'm playing it at 3x resolution with 4 different cheat codes activated, with a mod system and widescreen hack, so I'm not playing it the way it's supposed to be played. I didn't know until I played that Ralts is found on Route 3 or 4. I think it's Route 3, and I always get Ralts. I get Ralts every playthrough of Emerald I play. Gardevoir is my favorite Pokemon, so I can't play a game without her. Although I have been able to... I have been able to play Platinum without using Ralts. Most of the time I'll use Ralts as my Platinum playthroughs, but I decided not to this last time. I also speedran Platinum in 9 hours. Granted, that's with using PK Hack, so I don't know if it really counts. Alright, let's get to that save center. Yeah, it cooks with confusion. Exactly. Can't believe it took until Gen 7 for Ralts to know Psybeam. Seems like something it should know from the beginning. Let's just get a cure, get another energy tank. We got another missile we can get here. Just wondering why they gave Gardevoir Flash. I think it's because, like, part of the same reason that a Gardevoir can use Thunderbolt and Shockwave. I always considered, I know Flash is a normal type move, but I always considered Flash sort of like electrical based, or like a flash of light. So I can assume that, like, flashing, like Gardevoir using Flash is like it's flashing its psychic energy to create a burst of light. That's kind of what I think. They know what they were doing, yeah. I mean, probably, but there's a lot of Pokemon that get Flash that aren't looking like Gardevoir does. Gotta love using the Power Bomb on that thing. I think I'll get to the final part of this area and then I'll call it a stream. I'll try to stream more regularly now that I have a good setup. The thing with streaming for me is, like, it takes my attention away from what I usually use to distract myself. Because usually when I'm playing a game, I'm listening to a show, or listening to music, or watching a podcast, or watching a video, or whatever. But, like, when I'm streaming, I can't do that. I gotta pay attention to the game, I gotta pay attention to the chat, so it's a little harder for me. Not that it's a problem or anything. I like streaming. It's just that it's a little funky. But I am really looking forward to I am really looking forward to Legend ZA coming out in October. I'm so glad they gave us a release date. I figured it'd be October, November, something like that. But that's a great time to play a new Pokemon game. And I'm going to get it on the Switch too as well. So I'm probably going to get the enhanced versions of all the enhancements of Scarlet and Violet as well. I'm going to transfer all my save files over to the Switch 2. Because the Switch 2 is definitely going to be my primary console from now on until they release another Switch or whatever. I mean, I've got my gaming rig and everything, but like as far as consoles go, nah, Switch 2 is where it's at. Yeah, glad it ain't a Switch 2 exclusive. Yeah, me too. Me too. Same thing with Prime 4, which I will also be getting, and I'll be getting the Switch 2 version. I'm going to be doing a complete 100% playthrough of that once I get my hands on it. I can't wait for Prime 4. I'm so excited for that game. We still don't have a release date on that, though, which kind of stinks. I think it's going to be like late 2025. Like sometime around December. I'm just really hoping the Switch 2 is as successful as I hope it'll be. Because a lot of people are saying it's not going to be as successful as the Switch 1, which I can understand that. I don't think it's going to be as successful as the Nintendo Switch 1 either, because a lot of the Switch 1's popularity came from COVID and like the restrictions placed on us and everything. So it's easy to understand that Switch 2 may not be quite as successful as Switch 1 because there's not that same predicament that like we were all stuck in our houses all day. The Switch 2 the Switch had just come out. New games had come out for the Switch. Like that's why Animal Crossing New Horizons sold like 39 million copies because everyone was stuck at home all day, and here comes this cozy little, animal life simulator game that's all cute and cuddly, and it's something to keep us all, occupied and comforted. So I really don't think the Switch 2 is going to be as successful as the Switch. I'm hoping it is, or at least close to it. I hope it sells like 80 million units. Even if it only sells half as much as the Switch, it's still one of the most successful consoles of all time. I mean, I just hope that Nintendo doesn't fumble this. Because there's a really easy way for them to fumble this, and that's going to be all of the hardware, software, game card issue stuff going on. But, here's hoping it goes well. I think it should. Really just a matter of how they handle things. Some think it's comes that Nintendo is forcing Deltarune and Hollow Knight fans has to get the Switch 2 to order to play it. Yeah, that's kind of a pain in the ass. We don't want another Wii U now. Like, I know that Switch 2 is not going to be as bad as the Wii U was. No way. There's no way it's going to be that bad. The Wii U was not sold as a new console, like in advertising. It was sold as another Wii. And the game library was just not that strong. And the Wii pulled in a lot of grown adults who had never played a gaming console before. But the Switch is like, it's everybody's console, You can play games whenever the hell you want, wherever you go, you're not tied to a TV. And I think that's, like, the reason that the Nintendo didn't suffer during the Wii U's lifespan was because of the 3DS. They came out with so many different types of 3DS that were all, especially like the 3DS original, the 2DS, the 2DS XL, the 3DS XL, the new 2DS XL, the new 3DS XL. All those different 3DS variants they came out with, helped keep the company alive, With how it's named, it didn't sound like a sequel on like the Switch 2 exactly. And I think they learned their lesson with the Wii U by naming it the Switch 2 instead of the Switch U or something. I mean, naming it the Switch 2 is probably the best thing they could have done from a marketing perspective, because it's clearly a sequel. It is clearly a it is clearly an updated, upgraded, better version of the Switch of the Switch 1. Just like how PlayStation has been doing for frickin' 35 years. Or however long it's been. I don't follow PlayStation, so I don't know. I have a PS3, but I don't have anything else. But yeah, they definitely made it sound better by calling it the Switch 2 rather than calling it the Switch U or the Switch X or anything like that. Like, who the hell knows, like, I'm sorry, like, it's part of the reason why Xbox didn't succeed very well. Because what's the difference between the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S? I couldn't tell you. Apparently they're different consoles, but I just think they're a different version of the same console. Uh-oh, my cat's meowing again. There we go, there it is. I don't know, if it doesn't work out, Nintendo might have to go back to taxes and hotels. Damn. No, I'm like 85% confident it's gonna succeed. I'd be hard-pressed to think that the Switch 2 will not succeed. And how the new Xbox is the Xbox One. Exactly! Exactly my point. Like, what's the difference, man? Like, I don't understand their naming conventions. They're so weird. Like, their naming conventions just don't make any bloody sense. There was the Xbox, then the Xbox 360, then the Xbox One? Like, I know that when you call it the Xbox 360, you're probably not going to call the next one the Xbox 720. But, like, calling it the Xbox One was not a good marketing strategy. It doesn't sound new at all, exactly. It just sounds like they're re-releasing the Xbox original. I mean, between the Xbox One and the Xbox Series S, I couldn't tell you what's what. I don't know which one's which. And also, like, Xbox is not really, like, a console, man. Like, you download the games onto the system, dude. Like, they're not... It's... You just get a PC! Just get a freaking new computer, because Steam can play almost every freaking Xbox game. There's very few Xbox games that are, like, exclusive to the Xbox consoles. Like, I like to put it like this. If you want first-party games, you go Nintendo. They're 90% first-party, 10% third-party. Now it's more like 70-30, but like roughly around that ballpark. If you want a mix of first-party and third-party games, you go PlayStation 5. They're like 50-50. But if you want third-party games, you go Xbox because they don't have a lot of first-party titles. And I think that's a huge flaw. Now it's turning into a TV-attached PC. Exactly. Just get a freaking PC, dude. Like, it's not... It's better than getting a PC and just getting Steam, because you can spend more money on a PC, but you're not going to spend $500 on it. You can spend $500 on a relatively average gaming rig, or you can do what I did and spend $1,300 on a high-end gaming laptop. But still, you could spend that much money on that, and then save money on the low end by not having to buy physical games and buy digital games, and you can keep them on your computer for all time and all that stuff. It's not a huge deal, you know. Just know who your audience is. That's the thing. These companies don't. Some of them just don't know who their audience is. Like PlayStation, like they know who their audience is. Nintendo, they know who their audience is, but Xbox really doesn't. I mean, my brother, like, he had Xbox when he was growing up, and like, he grew up with that type of console, but he's a PC gamer now. We have a PS3 in the living room that he and I play two-player games on that we used to like when we were, that I used to like when I was a kid. So I play with my other brother. But like, as far as single-player games, he doesn't play Nintendo. He doesn't play anything Nintendo. He's strictly on PC. And that's kind of my thing, you know? I was never really a PC gamer until I got a gaming rig. Once I got my first gaming PC, which had like a GT 1030 in it, and an i3 7500 or some shit, I don't know. It was a really low-end gaming PC. Yeah, most games on Xbox are on Steam now. As Microsoft is very slowly becoming a third-party company. I don't think that... I think that when the PlayStation 6 comes out, and the Switch 2 is already in on-store shelves and everyone's buying it up, I think at that point Xbox is going to stop making consoles, or Microsoft's going to stop making consoles, and they're going to start just becoming a publisher. A full-time publisher. Because they make most of their money from the game sales anyway. They don't make as much money from the consoles. Whenever I go into a pawn shop, I see like 15 or 20 Xboxes at $100 a pop just sitting on the shelves. I never see a Nintendo console, and I occasionally see a PS4. But when I go to a pawn shop, it says nothing but Xboxes. That's a bad sign. If you go to one random local pawn store and all the store shelves are covered in Xbox Ones, that's a sign of a bad console right there. I'm sorry, but it is. You never want to see your console on a pawn shop shelves, unless it's old and you don't sell it anymore. And most of the money is in Minecraft. I mean, yeah, Minecraft made a shit ton of money. It's, I think, the second best-selling game of all time behind Tetris. Sold like 300 million copies across all consoles. But Minecraft is also like on everything. It's on PC, it's on your fridge. I'm not kidding about that. I actually know somebody who actually got Minecraft running on the refrigerator. Don't ask me how. I asked them how, they said they couldn't explain it. It's complicated. But like, yeah, like Nintendo knows their audience is mostly children. But now they're starting to realize that, hey, so we have a lot of children in our audience, but we also have a lot of young adults. We have a lot of people who grew up with Nintendo in the 90s. Why don't we appeal to them? Because why else would they put GameCube games on the Switch 2? There's no reason to do that if they're not trying to appeal to their older audience. And that's a good thing. You want to appeal to your older audience. You want to appeal to the classic gamers. The 1980s, 90s, and 2000s gamers. Yeah, but it's owned by Microsoft, so those companies have to give Microsoft a share. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's similar with how, like, Steam is a third-party publisher, but it's owned by Gabe Newell. I think it's, like, owned by Gabe Newell. I could be wrong. But it's owned by, like, one company, and, it's owned by Valve. That's what I'm thinking of. And I think Gabe Newell worked for Valve still. I'm not sure. But yeah, Nintendo definitely knows their audience. They're, you know, again, they're putting GameCube, N64, NES, SNES, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games on their modern consoles. I mean, this ages me a lot, but the GameCube came out over 20 years ago. It came out in November of 2002. I think. Might have been earlier than that. And I'm 30. I'm 30 years old, so that came out right in the middle of my early childhood. I was 7 when I got my first console, the N64. And I got my GameCube in 2006. Because I got Pokemon X, Eagle Darkness, and Colosseum, and Smash Bros. Melee on my GameCube when I was a little kid. So, like, they're appealing to the nostalgia of the adults like me by re-releasing digital versions of those consoles for people to actually play on. Which I'm happy about. I'm glad that they're doing that, because that shows that they're listening to their fan base. Granted, they should have listened to their fan base and put GameCube games on it on the Switch one's life cycle, but beggars can't be choosers, and I'm kind of currently begging right now. I mean, to be able to play Metroid Prime 2 possibly on the go is awesome. Metroid Prime 2 is my favorite Metroid. So the idea that I could possibly play this on the go on my Switch 2, oh, it's pure ecstasy for me. And giving them controllers similar, if not the same as those controllers to say consoles, nothing. And they're also releasing, like, they're re-releasing the GameCube controller again as a wireless controller that's also compatible with the GameCube. Come on, how's that not cool? And the N64 controllers are always sold out of the website. Exactly. Almost everything is sold out on the website. I never get a chance to get anything. But yeah, I'm definitely happy they're doing this. It's good for the business. It's good for everyone involved. You know, the GameCube games, the Game Boy Advance games, the Game Boy Color games, the Game Boy games, the N64 games. It's all good for the games and good for the industry. Because like if they're gonna do that, it's gonna curb a little bit of the pirating scene that they're so hell bent on cutting out. It's like we wouldn't need to pirate your old games if you just released them on modern consoles. Or make it easier to buy them and not cost an arm and a leg in our firstborn child. Like, I'm a collector, okay? I collect Pokemon cards and I collect video games. I own an N64, a GameCube, a Super Nintendo, an NES, an SNES, the same thing. I own every Nintendo main console and all but two of Nintendo's major handhelds. The only handhelds I'm missing are the DSi XL and the Nintendo Switch Lite. Because I gave the Switch Lite to my girlfriend, and the DSi XL is just something I haven't found yet. Nintendo knows how to nostalgia, but else knows how to appeal to new gens. Exactly. They know how to appeal to everyone, really. Okay, I will be right back. I have to use the bathroom. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Whew. Sorry, I had to pee. Okay. But yeah, like, the way that Nintendo's going right now is on an uptick. On an uptick, definitely. I don't think... I think that they're going to do really well. I think they're doing really well. I think they're doing what's, you know, in their best interest. I'm just really hopeful that the Switch 2 succeeds as much as they're hoping it will. Which I don't see any reason why it wouldn't. Except the digital game thing. The fact that some games are apparently not going to actually be on the console, but you're only going to get a key to download it. Whew. It's hot outside today. It's our first true 100-degree temperature day of the summer. It's 102 degrees outside today. So I got my AC set to a cool 74, and both of my ceiling fan and my standing fan on. Keep me cool. When you live in Vegas, you gotta really be careful about how you keep your room cooled. Here's a lesson for anyone out there. Never put your AC at the coldest temperature possible. Your power bill will hate you for it. Damn it. I knew this would happen. Okay, there we go. Once I beat a Morbus, I'm gonna call it. I'll probably do like 3 streams of Metroid Prime 2. One where I do the Agon Wastes, which is what I'm doing now. One where I do Torvus Bog, which will be the next stream I do, and then the next one I'll do Sanctuary Fortress. Thinking I might actually do a Pokemon stream at some point too again. Not sure what Pokemon game I should play, but I'll probably do XD. Alright, Dark Samus is dead. I don't think the enhancements that I've downloaded on my other laptop are on this one. Alright, now it's time to face Immortus. And I will be streaming again probably Tuesday. I'll have to figure it out. Did I get the Sonic Boom? Yes, I did. Okay, good. I couldn't remember if I got it or not. Alright, now this is an interesting glitch if I can manage to pull it off correctly. If I shoot them when they're like this with the phazon beam while they're still underground, occasionally, it'll just destroy them, but I guess it didn't work this time. And Dark Suit. Oh, jeez. Didn't expect to see that coming out of the frickin' door. Alrighty, and that's gonna go ahead and do it for this stream. I'll be back in a couple of days to play more Prime 2, and I hope to see you again soon.